Hey guys, welcome back to my channel AG Motion Designs, and in today's video we are going to create this kinetic typographic animation inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin. So if you're new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition. I'll call it as main animation. Width I'm going to choose 1920. Height 1080. Frame rate is 30. Duration is also 30 seconds, and background color is black. Simply hit OK. Go to choose grid and guide option and hit on title selection. Now press Ctrl N to create another composition. I'll call it as text, and width I'm going to choose, let's say, 100, and height I'm going to choose 800. Frame rate is 30 and duration is also 30 seconds, and BG color is black, and simply hit OK. And let's disable this title selection and make this into fit. Now press Ctrl Y on your keyboard to create one solid background layer, and I'll hit OK. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for ramp effect, which is our gradient ramp, and double click to apply. So we'll get this kind of gradient, and let's swap these colors like this. Now go to the shape tools, and I'm going to select this rectangle tool. I don't want any fills, so let's delete this fill. And for the stroke, I'm going to choose black color and hit OK, and stroke width is 5 pixels, and simply double click to create this stroke. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for blur effect. I'm going to choose Gaussian blur and simply double click to apply, and let's make this 20%, and let's repeat the edge pixels. And if you want, then you can increase the blurriness also, so we'll get something like this. Let's select this and let's decrease the stroke width, so we'll get this kind of stuff like that. You can select this shape layer, press T, and you can decrease the opacity of this one also. Now let's select our text tool and we will type one text. Let's type motion graphics. I'm going to select this text. Let's decrease the distance between the alphabets. Now select this text, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally, align it vertically. Press R for rotation, and let's make this plus 90. Press S for scaling option and scale it somewhere around like this. So we will get this kind of stuff. And if you think this is quite dark, so all you need to do, simply select this. Let's make the opacity a little bit less, not 0 but let's say 40. You can select this, select the start of the ramp, and you can move this. Let's select the selection tool, and you can move this anchor point somewhere around over here. So we'll get this kind of stuff. Now our text is almost visible. Now let's go to the main animation. Hit Ctrl 0 to open the project window. You can simply select this text strip and bring this to our main animation comp, and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Now let's zoom in. I'll move my mouse pointer over here, and by holding Ctrl I'll move this thing over here, so it will automatically snap at the edge. Now select this, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. By holding Ctrl I'll move this over here. Again hit Ctrl D. By holding Ctrl I'll move this over here. Now I'm going to select this one, and by holding Shift I'm going to select this one, and let's bring this at the top. Now we have this one, and we'll make it apparent with this text. Second layer, we'll select this one and we'll make it apparent with this middle one layer, and we will select this text and we'll make it apparent with this. So ultimately this one and this one is parent with this middle one, and this one is parent with this one. So now select all of them and convert them into 3D. Now we will select this one, press R. Before we convert them into 3D, we need to adjust the anchor point, so hit Ctrl A to select. Let's disable this 3D for now. Select this layer, press Y, choose your pen behind tool, and by holding Ctrl I'll snap this anchor point over here. Let's select this. By holding Ctrl, snap this anchor point over here. Select this. By holding Ctrl, snap this anchor point over here. Now select this layer, press V to selection tool. Let's convert them all into 3D. All the anchor points are successfully adjusted. Now select this, press R, and on Y axis we need to rotate it, so I'll select this. Let's make it plus 90. We will select this, press R. Let's make this minus 90 on Y axis. We will also select this one, press R, and on Y axis we will make this minus 90 again. And if you see in the custom view one, as you can see, we are gonna get something like this. But if you see properly over here, it's not appropriate. So to get rid of it, what we need to do, we need to go to the top view, and as you can see, we will get this kind of cubical shape over here. Now we will select our rectangle tool, and we don't want any stroke, so let's delete the stroke. All we want is fill, and for the fill I'm going to choose white color and simply hit OK. And we will create one shape according to this one. Now press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center, and let's go to the active camera view. Select this shape layer, convert this into 3D, press R for rotation, and we will rotate it on X rotation, which is 90. Let's go to the front view first. Front view, and press V. Let's move this over here, zoom in. Let's go to the top view. Let's move this over here, zoom in a little bit. Okay, now select this layer, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Let's go to the front view, and we will bring this downwards like this. Okay, and convert this fill into black color and hit OK like this. Okay, and hit U. Now right click new and create one null object. Select this null object and convert this into 3D. Go to the top view, and we will bring this null object in middle of this one. Let's go to the active camera view and select all the layers which are not parent with anyone and make it a parent with this null one. Select this null one, press R for rotation, go to the start, create one keyframe at Y rotation, go to at second, and let's make complete to one rotation. Let's make this one. Alt click on the stopwatch and type loop out expression on it like this. So if you see, we are gonna get something like this. Okay, so hit U. I'm going to select this null object, hit enter, and let's call it as rotation. Now we'll right click new, and we'll create one null object, and we will also convert this into 3D. We'll go to the top view, and we'll move this at the center from here. Then we will go to the front view, and we will bring this downwards like this. Now we will select this rotation property, and we will convert this into 3D, and we will make it a parent with this null 2. Select this null 2, hit enter, and let's call it as scale and hit OK. Press S, unlink this, and if you change the property, as you can see, we can animate the scale property. So let's create one keyframe over here, go to around 1 second, and let's make this 50. Go to around 2 seconds, and let's make this 100. Select those keyframe and hit F9. So if you see, we are gonna get something like this. Okay, select this rotation, press R. I have deleted this keyframe. So initially, let's create one keyframe over here, go over around 8 seconds, and let's make one complete rotation. So along with the scaling animation, we'll get something like this. Alt click on the scaling animation also and type loop out expression on it. So we'll get something like this. Okay, so this animation is also done. Now we will select all of them, and we will press Ctrl Shift C, and we will call it as cube and hit OK. And let's go to the active camera view, go inside this also. Yeah, let's go to the main animation, click on this icon, and then also convert this layer into 3D like this. Now let's go to the top view, and let's move this thing over here. Now press Y on your keyboard, and we will move this anchor point over here. Zoom in a little bit. We'll move this anchor point over here like this. Now if I select this cube and if I rotate it, as you can see, it will rotate it somewhere around like this. And if you go to the active camera view, you will still get this kind of animation. Now let's go to the top view like this. Create one keyframe. As you can see, it will rotate it on y-axis. So create one keyframe on y rotation. Select this, hit U again. So we'll get this y rotation. Hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Press U, and let's make this 30. Select this, hit Ctrl D, hit U. let's make this 60. Control D, hit U, let's make this 90. Select this, hit Control D, hit U, let's make this 120. Select this, hit Control D, hit U, let's make this 150. Select this, hit Control D, hit U, let's make this 180. Control D, hit U, let's make this 210. Control D, hit U, 240. Control D, hit U, let's make this 270. Control D, hit U, let's make this 300. Control D, hit U, and let's make this 330. So we'll get something like this. If you see this active camera view, obviously we are gonna get something like this. Now right click new and create one camera, and angle of view is 49, so simply hit OK. Right click new and create one null object. Select this null object, hit enter. Let's call it as cam controller and hit OK, and convert this null object into 3D. Select this camera and make it a parent with this cam controller. Select this cam controller, press R for rotation, and we can rotate it like this, and we can rotate it on X rotation also. Select this camera, press S for scaling, press R for rotation, and let's make this -45 like this, and let's bring this somewhere around over here, so we'll get something like this. Press S so you can scale this like this. So if you see, we are gonna get this kind of animation. Now right click new and create one null object, and we'll make it a parent all this thing with null object. But before that, we need to select this null object and convert it into 3D. Let's go to the top view first and make sure this null object it has the center. So let's go to the active camera, select all the cubes, and we will make it a parent with this null one. We will select this null one, press R for rotation, and let's see at what axis we need to rotate it. So okay, we need to rotate it on y-axis, so create one keyframe over here, go to around 8 seconds, and let's make this one complete rotation. So we will get this kind of rotating animation. Alt click on the stopwatch, type lookout expression on it like this, and if you see, we are gonna get something like this. Now let's go inside this cube. Now we will select all of them and we will press Ctrl Shift C to pre-comp this. I'll call it a small cube and hit OK. And if we go to the main animation, as you can see, we are gonna get something weird stuff over here. So to get rid of it, go inside this cube, click on this icon and convert this into 3D. And now if you see, we will gain again this thing. Now let's go to the cube and let's go to the top view. And now I'm going to select this small cube. I'm gonna hit Ctrl D and let's move this over here, and let's see what we will get in main animation. As you can see, we are gonna get duplicates of this one. So let's increase the distance between this until we will get some proper stuff over here like this. Okay, now but before that, what we need to do, let's zoom in a little bit and hit this down button, I think 2 times, or let's say 3 times. So this one shift over here. Now select all of them, alt close bracket, trim this up to here, right click, keyframe assistance and sequence layers and hit OK. Let's zoom out and let's move this over here until last, and let's go over here, alt open bracket, so it will trim this. Now go to the start and let's move this over here. So if you see this, we are gonna get this kind of stuff. Okay, so now let's go to the inside this cube. Now we will select the small cube again, we will hit Ctrl D and we will again move this over here so we can see properly over here, but make sure to choose a proper distance so it will look nice. Now again I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and I'll move this over here, so we'll get this extra duplicate over here like this. Okay, again hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and move this over here. Okay, so let's choose quad resolution. So now we are gonna get something like this. Now what we need to do, Let's go to the start. Hit page down button two times, select this, move this over here, page down button two times, move this over here, select all of them, go to the start, and let's move this over here. So now we will get alternation in this animations also. So it will take a little bit time to load because this is quite 3D stuff, so it will take the time to load. Now go to the cube, we'll select the small cube, we'll go to the effect and presets panel, and we will search for tint effect. You can apply this and swap this, select this field, I mean tint effect, hit Ctrl C, select this one, and not this one but this one, and hit Ctrl V. So if you see, we'll get different color, but this looks quite weird, so I will not recommend to do that. So hit Control Z. I think this looks good to me. Let's delete this. Okay, so we are gonna get something like this. And now one thing you can also do, you can go inside this small cube, maybe select the shape layer, you can hit Ctrl D, and you can change the color of this one to black one. Let's see which is this. Also, I have selected this one. Let's hit delete. We don't need to duplicate this one, we need to duplicate this one which is at the top, so hit Ctrl D. Let's make the black color, press S, and let's make this 80. And let's see in main animation, as you can see, we are gonna get something like this. Now you can select this, hit Ctrl D again, press S, let's make this 60, and we will make this white color. So we are gonna get something like this. Let's go inside this text, you can select the shape layer and you can increase the opacity of this one, and you can decrease the blurriness also. And let's make this stroke width 5, and let's see what we will get the change in the cube. If you see this in full, we are gonna get something like this. Let's go to the small cube and text, select this, let's make this 16. Okay, so this is how we can create this kind of typographic animation, and if you want, then you can select this camera controller and you can change the position of this one like this. And if you want, then you can apply motion blur also, like if I move this over here, let's adjust the camera over here and select this camera, hit double it to open the all camera options, and you can enable depth of field like this. And let's change the focus distance to 1800, somewhere around like this. Let's make the aperture to 400, and let's make the 1A900 like this. And let's make the blurriness to 100 and aperture 200, or let's say 400. Okay, so this is how you can create this kind of animations. It will take a little bit time to load because this is quite heavy animation. And if you want, you can go inside this cube, this cube, you can select the alternate text and you can apply tint effect on them, and you can swap their colors. You can select this with Ctrl C, select this one, and let's hit Ctrl V, and let's see what we will get. If you see in our main animation, we'll get something like this. Let's go inside this cube, a small cube. I'm gonna select this and hit Ctrl X. I'm gonna apply this tint effect on this one and hit Control V and swap these colors. Not this one, but let's say, okay, so I'll apply on this one and let's see. We will get something like this. Okay, so this is our final animation. With the help of this kind of techniques, we can create this kind of stuff. But if you apply this tint effect, as you can see, we are gonna get a little bit thing over here which is not suitable for our animation. So let's delete this tint effect. I think our animation looks good with this thing also only. So yep, this is gonna be my final animation. So that's it for the today's video. We will see you in my next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. Until then, stay tuned.